Okay, hello again. I want to spend a little bit of time going over your presentation requirements. That's really going to be the next thing you'll be working on as you continue doing your research. Okay, you want to sort of gear up your research towards both presenting your research and using your research in your final research position paper. Okay, so the next step along the process as you're doing your research, when you're finishing your research, is to present your research to your peers. Okay, so this is 5% of your grade. Okay, and you are going to be sharing your research findings with your classmates. So what you're going to be doing is discussing your three sources with the class. Okay, so you'll be identifying your three most important sources and then sort of discussing them with the class. You can use PowerPoint, you can use Prezi. If you haven't already explored Prezi, I encourage you to do so. You can use any presentation software you like, or you can use a handout to help focus and guide your presentation. Handouts are actually really useful because they keep you from relying too much on your slides, right? They enable you to just sort of talk a little bit more freely, but yet still have something concrete that your audience can kind of follow along with, right? So you might also consider a handout. Your presentation should be 5 minutes, okay? No longer. Okay, so 5 minutes only, which means you're going to have to organize your work really kind of specifically. Okay, so more detailed guidelines. Basically, you are going to be deciding on a focused purpose for your presentation. Okay, your presentation definitely needs a purpose, and that's something that you will be identifying for us. Okay. So you're going to be deciding on a focused purpose for your presentation. You want to identify your narrowed topic. Okay, it should be clearly narrowed and clearly identifiable. Okay, so your topic should not be depression. Okay, that is not appropriate as a narrowed topic. Okay, suicide is not appropriate as a narrowed topic. Okay, this particular genre of short story, okay, is not a narrowed enough topic, okay? So you want to use your clearly narrowed topic, okay, and then you want to identify your three sources that offer us some kind of perspective on that topic, okay? So three sources about that narrowed topic. Maybe they offer different perspectives on it, maybe they offer sort of different takes, different approaches to it, okay? And so on. So your goal is to identify what you want to tell the class about your topic that is based on the research you've found, okay? Now, the important thing to keep in mind here is that your research is not just about, I found these three sources. Here's the first source, here's the second source, here's the third source, okay? Your presentation should be about how these sources help you understand your topic, okay? Does that make sense? So your sources, your research presentation should be about how your sources help you understand your topic. So for instance, that third paragraph in your evaluative bibliography should be really important here. Okay. All right, so once you've decided on the focused purpose for your presentation, you're going to select the sources that you're going to use. Okay, you want to consider each source's context, right, significance, etc. What makes it a good source? You want to think about the source's context, like where was it published? Is it peer-reviewed or scholarly? What kind of source is it, right? You want to think about how significant the source is. Okay. How, does the source make new points? How does it contribute to the topic? How is it significant for your purposes? Okay. How extensive is the source? All right. Does it seem to delve into enough depth and detail? Okay. Or is it kind of superficial? If it's superficial, you probably don't want to use it. Okay. You want to think also about how appropriate the source is. Okay. Does it directly address your focused purpose, or does it address a related but maybe less central aspect of your general topic? And it can do both. Okay. It does not need to be exactly on the same idea about your topic. Okay, it should contribute somehow to your understanding of your narrowed topic. Okay, that could include informing you of the broader context. Okay, okay. You want to decide on an organizational strategy. This is often the hardest part of this assignment. Okay, you want to decide on an organizational strategy for your presentation. Okay, so you can do a couple things here, right? You might want to present the major aspects of the topic, okay, and then bring in your sources as they become relevant to your discussion of your research, okay, um, and discussion of your topic, right? You might also just move through the sources one by one, but then be sure to discuss how they relate to your purpose, okay? That is, it should not be just about the sources in and of themselves, okay? Your presentation should be about your discussion of the research you found, how the research that you found relates to and expands on your purpose in your research. What do you want to learn, okay? Now, don't forget that ultimately the book Olive Kittredge is relevant here, okay? So so if your research is just on suicide, right, you want to be sure that you explain how your research helps you understand the text in some way, what you're going to be doing with the text in relationship to your research. Okay, you want to think about how they fit together. And then you're going to want to put the materials together for your presentation. Okay, now you will want to think about a couple things when you're putting your materials together for the 5-minute presentation. Okay, keep in mind that you really want to include only very brief amounts of text. Okay, if you find yourself quoting huge chunks of text and reading from your slides, okay, reading big pieces of text from your slides, then your audience is going to zone out. They're totally going to zone out, okay? You want to be focused and you want to include only very brief amounts of text, okay? Instead, speak about the sources and your research in your own words, okay? Now this means that you kind of have to know what the heck you're talking about, okay? Use notes to help you out, but really be familiar with the sources that you're working on, okay? If you want me to make handouts for the class, I can do so, okay? Just let me know. You can use images, but if you do want to use images, make sure that you have access to use them. You have the ability to use them, okay? So make sure that they are Creative Commons licensed, okay? Don't forget to give credit, okay? You can take your own photos if you like, but still, you know, indicate where you got them from, that you took them. Okay. And don't forget to include a complete works cited. Your works cited should include any images you use. Okay. Make sure that we know where those images came from. Okay. So your works cited should include anything that you use in your presentation. Okay. Your 3 research sources, any images you use. If you refer to Olive Kittredge, the text, incorporate that as well. Okay. And then you want to prepare for your delivery. Okay. Make sure to practice, okay? You want to make sure that you have the timing right, okay? You want to make sure that you know how you're going to move from point to point and so on. Okay, so then you're going to prepare, okay? So basically, this is something I want you to begin thinking about as you are working on your research, as you're finding your research, okay? We'll sign up for presentations when we get back on Monday. Okay, we'll sign up for presentations, and then the presentations will take place over the next 2 or 3 class meetings. Okay, your evaluative bibliography will be due at the end of the presentations. Okay, so you're going to be working on your presentations, working on your evaluative bibliography. After everybody has given their presentations, you may have some need to revise your evaluative bibliography, and then you'll turn it in. Okay, so basically 5 minutes. On your narrowed research topic and the sources that contribute to your understanding about it, okay? Well organized, that you sort of presented in 5 minutes with the work cited, okay? So here are the grading criteria for this project, okay? The purpose. Is the purpose of your presentation clear, okay? Does it present your research findings on a narrowed topic, okay? Is your purpose really clear, or does it just seem to be sort of a collection of here's source 1, source 2, source 3, okay, with no real connections between them, okay, that you've articulated at any rate. What about your sources? Are they appropriate? Are they significant, extensive, and so on? Is it clear how each helps develop the purpose? And you can use your sources for different purposes, okay, for different parts of your purpose, okay. You have discussed each of your sources at least once, okay. What about your organization? We're going to be thinking about the organization. Does the presentation move in a clear and organized manner? Does it stay focused on the purpose? Okay. We don't really wander around, and the audience is never left wondering how things fit together. That is your responsibility in terms of your organization, your purpose, and your selection of the sources. Okay. Make sure that we know how everything fits together. And finally, last few things here, your materials. Are they polished? Are they effective, and do they contribute to the presentation, right? Your PowerPoint, your Prezi, your handout, etc. Okay, are they professional looking? Okay, or are they rife with spelling mistakes, grammar errors, right? Do they sort of seem unpolished? Okay, your delivery. Are you prepared? Have you in fact practiced, right? Because that is evident to your audience, okay? Do you have a good energy, good enthusiasm for your topic? Do you speak clearly and in a way that's understandable, okay? And finally, class involvement. Does your presentation encourage your classmates to think and to ask questions? Are your classmates, in fact, thinking and asking questions? So that's what we'll be looking for in the presentations. We'll be looking for the articulation of your clear purpose, the appropriateness of your sources and your discussion of the sources, your organization, the materials for your presentation that you provide, the delivery, and your class involvement, your generation of class involvement. So those are the requirements for the presentation, and as I mentioned before, those presentations will occur next week and for about 3 class periods, depending on how long it takes. And then at the end of those presentations, your evaluative bibliography will be due. So the idea is that as you're working on your presentation, you're also working on your evaluative bibliography, and one might encourage you to reflect or refine the other. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk more about this, of course, at our next meeting, but I wanted to give you kind of a heads up. Okay, all right, thanks so much.